Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who topic video for today. So for this Doctor Who video, I'm gonna say I kind of got this idea off another sci-fi guy who is a fantastic YouTuber, and he's a fellow subscriber to my channel, and he does this fantastic series of It's Armageddon. It's the end of the Earth as we know it. We have to go into hibernation into a bunker, and we have to take some Doctor Who's with us. So he normally talks about what seasons or stories he takes, but he hasn't really come across what master stories would he like to take it into that. So I'm thinking, right, it's Armageddon, it's the end of the Earth. I'm going to go out in a bunker and taking several Doctor Who's with me. Now, to think of this, I would probably take some stories from each Doctor. So, say like for the Daleks and stuff. So I'm thinking of making this a proper series. But for me to say, it is Armageddon. It is the end of the Earth as we all know it. So, and we got to go into this massive bunker. So, what do I take with me? Well, I will take several Doctor Who's with me out of seasons and stuff. But I was thinking, if I could take one story from TV and, of course, from Big Finish with me into this bunker of the master stories. Yes, so I'm going to talk about one master story from each version of the master and where would I actually place this. I'm not going to be talking about James Dolphin's version of the master because I haven't heard any of him yet. I don't know what he's like as the master. I know he's in the first Doctor Adventures Volume 1 with David Bradley. I know he's in some stories with the second. Even he's in a story with the 7th Doctor. But I'm not really going to include him because I haven't really heard his take on the Master. So, from this video, I'm going to be talking about Roger Delgado, Geoffrey Beevers. I'm not talking about Peter Pratt because Peter Pratt and Geoffrey Beevers play the same incarnation of the Master, the decaying Master. So I'm not really going to talk about Peter Pratt, sorry. So it's literally going to be Roger Delgado, Geoffrey Beevers, Anthony Ainley, Eric Roberts, you know, then of course Alex McQueen for the Big Finish series with Paul McGann, and then of course we have Derek Jacobi, John Sim, and of course Michelle Gomez and Sasha Dewan. So I'm going to be talking about one story I take with me into Armageddon. It's the end, you know, I've got to go into this bunker and I'm taking these Doctor Who stories with me. One story from each version of the Master. So let's dive into it. So for Roger Delgado, I would actually take the Sea Devils. Now, the Sea Devils, it's my favourite Pertwee story. It's my favourite Master story. It's my favourite Sea Devil story. It's my all-time favourite rolled into one story because it's the first appearance of the Sea Devils. It's got the Master in it and it's got John Pertwee's Doctor in it. So this one, I have to say, it's a very interesting one for me to take in because Roger Delgado, yes, he's in a prison cell after he was arrested for his crimes, what he did in Season 8, in Terror of the Autons, The Mind of Evil. Claws of Axos, he was arrested, then he managed to get out of it. And then, of course, in the Daemons, he tries to take over the Earth once again. And he is followed by units. So basically, the Master's in prison for all his crimes that he did in Season 8. And to try and break out of prison, he does hypnotise people. And he creates this machine to contact the Sea Devils. And he tries to provoke a war between Earth and the Sea Devils. And then, of course, the Doctor interferes. And then we know whatever happens there. The Sea Devils is just a fantastic Roger Delgado and Pertwee story because these two are just flat out amazing Time Lords. This version of the Doctor and Roger Delgado's Master. Because we have that epic sword fight. I really love that sword fight between the two of them where he's there trying to get... And the Doctor just goes, "On guard!" And they're fighting and he goes, "Do you mind? You're damaging Covenant property." I really do like Roger Delgado as the Master and Bill Pertwee. And the way the Doctor and the Master, they're talking when they're being captured by the Sea Devils, and the Doctor goes, "I reversed the polarity to the neutral flow." "You did what?" And then this Master's there trying to warn these people, and the Doctor goes, "They're not going to listen, so you might as well just escape with me." And I really do love the Sea Devils for that. So for Geoffrey Beevers, I was going to place the Keeper of Traken, but I'm actually not. I'm actually going to be including a Big Finish story, which is called Light at the End, where we have all 8 Doctors having to come across and stop this decaying version of the Master. I love Light at the End. It's a perfect story from the 50th anniversary for Big Finish, and the way we have Paul McGann and Tom Baker basically working together, and then of course you've got Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sussan McCoy with all their companions, And then, of course, you've got echoes between Pertwee, Hartnell and Troughton's doctors echoing into the story. So it is definitely a multi-doctor story. But I love how the Master's basically the villain and he uses his tissue manipulator to turn this guy's family into a dollhouse. Yeah, very, very dark, this version of the Master. I do like Jeffrey Beaver's Master because he does try to find a way to survive. He literally just wants to survive. And this story is just absolutely perfect. And I do love it, even it's from Big Finish. And this was my first ever introduction to Big Finish. I have to admit, light at the end, it's amazing. Listen to it if you haven't heard it. So, for Anthony Ainley, I'm going to have to say Anthony Ainley's Master, even though he has encountered Tom Baker, John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton, Richard Herndon, aka the First Doctor for the Five Doctors, Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy, I'm going to have to say my favourite Anthony Ainley story as the Master has got to be Survival. Survival is just another fantastic story. And I love the way how McCoy really does get on so well with Anthony Ainley. A bit like, I have to admit, I don't know what it is about this story. I really prefer this story over other Anthony Ainley stories. And I don't know why that is. Even though I do like Anthony Ainley's Master, he's my favourite Master. But this has got to be my favourite Anthony Ainley's version of the Master story. And I just absolutely genuinely love it because the 7th Doctor, he's takes an ace to Pellyvale, and then, of course, something's going on. The Doctor's working out something is definitely going on because you have horses, you've got these cheetah people. It's going over back. Then, of course, you've got this kind of like portal where they jump in from Earth to the cheetah planet. And then, of course, the Doctor comes across the Master. And the way the Master's becoming part of the cheetah virus. And then you've got that epic fight between the two of them, and the Doctor goes, "If we fight like animals, we die like animals." And then, of course, we don't know what actually happened from the Master apart from him being put on trial in the TV movie. But I love Survival. It's just a brilliant story for Sylvester McCoy and, of course, Anthony Ainley. And then, of course, jumping into Eric Roberts. I haven't really heard any of his Big Finish stuff, unfortunately. I know he does re-meet the 8th Doctor in Revelous, which is something I do want to listen to. And, of course, he has his own audio series going on now. But I'm going to have to pick the TV movie because even though the TV movie, not many people like it, not many people enjoy it, but I love the TV movie. I think I really want Paul McGann back as the Doctor. I just really love the TV movie because even though it's kind of a regeneration story because we have the 7th Doctor regenerating into the 8th Doctor, the Master's been exterminated by the Daleks and he's kind of got this metamorphic worm that basically helps him to survive and store his essence. And then, of course, that essence later takes over a human body called Bruce, played by Eric Roberts. And then Bruce dies, the Master takes over his body, and the Master can't survive long in Bruce's body, so he needs the Doctor's body. He needs to renew himself by using the Eye of Harmony. And, of course, what's more perfect than a fantastic story between the Doctor and the Master? Well, a newly regenerated Doctor, because the 8th Doctor basically does try and stop the Master. And the Master's there trying to kill the Doctor because he's not happy the Doctor's still alive, but the Master's kind of dying. I love that scene where he goes, "I can hear your thoughts, Doctor. I can hear your memories." And you kind of think the Doctor's dying, but the Doctor's not dying. That's the thing. The Doctor still survives. And the Master does fall into the Eye of Harmony. And, of course, it's the end of the Master as we know it. Or is it? Nah, the Master comes back in Big Finish with Alex McQueen, the next Master I'm going to be talking about. I really love the TV movie. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. And I just can't get enough of it. Eric Roberts, he is the worst kind of actor to play the Master, but I am interested in listening to his Big Finish run. I do want to get into his Big Finish run because I think, from what I've been told, he's brilliant as the Master wants it. Apparently he's a lot better than he was in the TV movie. He's got more freedom to roam with the character, so I'm going to give Eric Roberts another chance. Then, of course, talking about Alex McQueen. Now, Alex McQueen's Master has encountered the 6th, 7th and the 8th Doctors. I'm going to have to say his very first story from me, which is out of Dark Eyes 2, Eyes of the Master. Now, if I can only take one story from Dark Eyes ever to get signed by Paul McGann, it's going to be Eyes of the Master, because this is my favourite Doctor versus Master story, because the way these two are talking and the Doctor says, "The last time I saw you, you fell into the Eye of Harmony," and the Master goes, "Yes, and the Time Lords picked me out of my little predicament and give me a new regeneration cycle and a new body, and here I am." I really love Alex McQueen's version of the Master. He is just absolutely brilliant in the role. I mean, if I could say if out of the two masters that we've got from Big Finish, aka James Dolphus, who I've not really heard anything of, or Alex McQueen, I kind of want Alex McQueen to come and play the role just for a TV episode. Say with Shooty Gatwa, instead of having Sausage One back, imagine having Alex McQueen's master from Big Finish. It would just be so brilliant to have Alex McQueen's master, because from what I've listened to in the Dark Eye series, and of course the two masters, this is just an absolutely fantastic story. It's biological. It's just fantastic. Paul McGann and Alex McQueen really do dive well into the characters of the Doctor. I love the more darker tone of the Doctor for the Dark Eyes, and I love how the Masters is there coming up with all these evil plans to use the Eminence and do everything, and the Doctor's there trying to stop the Masters, trying to stop the Eminence. Yeah, I just really love Eyes of the Master, because I love the way how the Master just goes, well, the Time Lords picked me out of my little predicament. I would just absolutely flat out love that episode. So the next Master biological, well, currently in the universe, I haven't read any of the comics. I'm going to have to say it's going to be Derek Jacobi and for Utopia. Now, hear me out. I know he's brilliant as the War Master. I've listened to clips on YouTube of the War Master with Derek Jacobi, but I just kind of... Sorry, that sun's getting in my eye a bit. I just kind of want to experience more from Derek Jacobi, and so for me, I'm going to have to say Utopia, because I love the way how the Master's pretends to be this good guy. He's being like Professor Yana, and then of course the fob watch kicks in after he hears Doctor talking about the TARDIS, the Time Vortex, the Time War, Rose, and all this and all that lot, and then of course the Master goes, "Open me, your human foe. Open the light and summon me." I really love the way how you kind of have echoes of the fob watch from other Masters, because you do hear Anthony Ainley's evil laugh. You hear a bit of Roger DeGardo going, "Destroy him, and you will give your power to me." And then, of course, he opens the fob watch, and then the essence of the Master gets stored back into Yana's body, and the way he just turns around, and you just see the Master's little twinkle in his eyes. And then the way he's there talking to Chanvo, and he kills her, going, "Ooh, now I can say I was provoked." And she's there saying, "Yanta, Professor, please answer's not my name." The Professor was an invention, a disguise to hide myself from my true identity. Then, who are you? No, I am the Master. I just really love Utopia, and the way he kills Chanvo, and he locks himself in the TARDIS, and the way he's dying because Chanvo basically uses her last ounce of strength to actually pick up a gun and shoot him, and he's there going, "Killed by an insect, a gill, how inappropriate, but instead of the Doctor can be young and strong, then so can I, the Master reborn." And the way you kind of have him bending back and the regeneration just bursting out of him. You've got John Sims screaming, as it is a regeneration story for the Master, and you kind of got John Sims coming in at the end. I just really love Utopia. So for my favourite John Sim episode, I'm going to have to say it's a tie with Michelle Gormes's, because these two versions of the Master have a multi-Master episode, even though it does feature the 12th Doctor and the 7th. I'm going to have to put this one neck and neck, because I just love Michelle Gomez's performance in World Enough Time the Doctor Falls, and I really love how John Sim plays the Master once again in World Enough Time and the Doctor Falls. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm going to put these two Masters neck and neck together, because these two just start as perfect as each other in that two-parter. World Enough Time and the Doctor Falls, for me, I absolutely love it. I love the way how you kind of got the Master disguised as Ridsel, and he's there talking to Bill, and he's there to take there when she gets turned into a Cyberman, and he's there talking to Missy, saying, the Doctor will not be happy with you when he finds out what you've done to his little friend. I haven't done nothing to his little friend. Oh, but you did a very long time ago, and you happened to be someone's former Prime Minister. And the way he takes his disguise off and goes, "Hello, Missy, I'm the Master, and I'm very worried about my future." I just really love that. And the way he's there boasting, and Missy goes, "Oh, you met the X." And he goes, "I call it a Genesis, Doctor. Specifically, Genesis of the Cybermen." I just really love John Sims' performance with Michelle Gomez in this two-parter. I'm going to say this is my favourite Missy and Master episode. I have to admit, for John Sims' Master, it's my favourite one, and it's my favourite Michelle Gomez's story as well. It's just neck and neck. I love the way how these two these two versions of the Master meet, and the way you kind of got them dancing, and the Master basically the Master fancies himself, goes, "Is it a bit wrong that I?" And she goes, "Yes, completely." I really love the way how them two just really pan out, and the way that Missy stabs him in the back, and the Master's there going, "Good one, good one." And then, of course, Missy's there saying, "I'm going to go and stand with the Doctor," and the Master goes, "I will never stand with the Doctor," and he literally kills her. And he goes, "Don't bother to regenerate. You can't. I'll give you the full press of the sonic laser." I just really love this two-parter. It's brilliant. It's amazing, and just absolutely fantastic. And then coming into the final Master we've had on TV, I'm going to have to say for Sacha Dhawan, it's the power of the Doctor. I was going to put Spyfall, because Spyfall was my favourite Sacha Dhawan episode, but the power of the Doctor just absolutely took over that story for me for the Master, for Sacha Dhawan, because the Master, he's definitely more insane. I mean, when you kind of hear him and you see him dancing to Rasputin, the song of Rasputin, it's absolutely funny. It's absolutely amazing. The way you kind of got him talking to the Doctor saying, "You let every little Tom, Dick and Harry into your TARDIS. Well, this is my family. The Doctor, Daleks and so on." And she goes, the Doctor's there thinking, "Oh, what's more stronger than their hate for each other?" "Oh, yeah, their hatred for you, Doctor." And the way the Master's there planning to steal the Doctor's regeneration, and then he basically becomes the Doctor by doing a forced regeneration, and then you kind of have the Master basically becoming the Doctor, putting all the Doctor's clothes on him, so you kind of see the bit like echoes from the 4th, 5th, 7th, 10th, and 12th Doctors, 11th Doctor. And I believe the Troughton trousers as well. I just really do enjoy this version of the Master. And then, of course, the forced regeneration is going back to degenerate the Master into his old body. And the Doctor comes back, and the Master's there going, "Don't let me become myself again, Doctor." And the Doctor and then, of course, he's there saying, "If I cannot be the Doctor, neither can you." And he just tries to kill her. And we don't even know if the Master's dead. So, yeah, that is my stories I would take with me at the end of Armageddon, if Armageddon happens. So, what stories would you take of the Masters in Armageddon? Let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe, and share, and join for more awesome Doctor Who content. Have a cracking day, you amazing viewers and subscribers.